Everyone's losing their minds about AI stealing voiceover jobs right now. And look, I get it. It's a real conversation. But here's the thing nobody's talking about. I'm actually stealing jobs from AI right now. Like, companies are paying me to replace their AI voiceover with a real human one. And honestly, it's going pretty great for me right now. By the way, if you don't know who I am, I'm Jesse Carroll. I have 2,000 voiceover credits. I am a Voice Arts Award winner now. I love saying that. I've never won anything in my life except for that. And I'm the founder of VoiceOver School. Let's get into it. So here's what's actually happening out there right now. Companies got excited about AI and AI voiceover. And why wouldn't they? It's cheap, it's fast, no talent fees, no scheduling, no diva voice actors asking for water with no ice in it. So they approve it, they send it out, and then they hear it back. It sounds like a GPS giving directions to a funeral. It sounds like a microwave trying to give a bedtime story. It sucks. So they call me. They say, hey, we tried the AI thing. Didn't really work. Can you do this? And I say, absolutely. Here's my rate. And they pay it without blinking because they already wasted money on the AI version and they just want it done right. I am literally getting paid to replace AI. That's not a bit. That's my actual life right now. I'm coming for AI jobs. I do it pretty regularly, like at least once a week. Anybody else out there replacing AIs right now and having clients come back to them? Let me know in the comments below if you've been replacing shitty AI voiceovers with your own. So I'll give you a couple examples. I had a client come to me with a corporate explainer video. They used one of the big AI voiceover platforms. You'd recognize the name, and technically it was fine. The words were clear, the pacing was okay, but it felt like nobody was home. Like the lights were on, but the building was empty. The client said it didn't feel right. And I said, yeah, because it isn't. Another one for a commercial, for a regional commercial. They went AI to save a few bucks. The ad ran. The response was terrible. Not because people knew it was AI. Most people had no idea. But something just like felt off, something felt cold. And the brand felt it in their numbers. So they called me. We fixed it. Everyone was happy, except the AI. Probably. It's probably crying right now if it can feel things, which it can't, which is kind of the whole point of this video. But I'm sure it's crying somewhere. Crying computer tears of, that's not supposed to happen this way. I'm supposed to be the one taking jobs. Here's the thing. AI is good enough to fool the person buying it, but it's not good enough to fool the audience listening to it. We are wired to detect authenticity. We can't always put our finger on why something feels off. It's just like when you're watching a movie and the CGI is like, it's almost good, but like not quite. Your brain knows something's wrong, even if it can't explain it. Same thing with AI voice. Almost human, but like not quite. And here's the irony. AI made it easier and cheaper to produce voiceover content, which means more content is being made, which means more demand for voices, which means more work for real voice actors who can actually perform. AI accidentally created more jobs for us. Thanks, robots. And here's the bottom line on the whole AI taking voiceover jobs. I didn't lose a single dollar to AI last year. Zero. Not one job. In fact, I think I made more money because of AI. And I want to be clear. I'm not saying AI isn't real or it isn't getting better. It absolutely is. But right now in the commercial space and the performance space, there's a gap. And that gap is exactly where I live and most professional voice actors. You want to sound like you. There is more of a need to be authentic today in voiceover than ever before. You really want to sound like you. You want to leave your breaths in. You want to sound conversational. If you don't know how to do an authentic conversational voiceover, I suggest Dave Beeson's book, which I did the forward of for his second edition, Authentic Commercial Voiceover. Pick it up on Amazon and the Audible version. I'm in an audiobook doing the forward for Dave's book, but it's a fantastic place to start. You really can't afford not to sound conversational these days. You really need it, and that's how you beat the machines. And just so you know where we're at with voiceover right now, like I tried last year to clone my voice to see if it could do auditions for me, mainly just for a YouTube video. Kind of blew up in my face. People got pissed that I was using AI voiceover to try and do audition. Not me. Other voice actors were like, you shouldn't use AI. We're against it. I don't give a shit. I tried it anyway, and it's not good enough. The nuance, spontaneity. It would be able to say spontaneity perfectly. I can't. That makes me human. It's also not funny. There's no jokes. Like whenever I do a voiceover, I try to find funny moments in it, even if it's not baked into the script. Like just the choices I make. AI, it doesn't make choices. It just kind of reads it straight. It can't replicate that. Well, yet, anyway. But here's the thing. No matter how good it gets, I'm not afraid of it. I'm literally trying to use it. I'm experimenting with it. I'm paying attention. I'm watching AI channels right now. Nick Sarayev is a great one. Shout out to Nick. Fantastic AI channel. Claude Code, Claude Cowork, all that stuff. Like ChatGPT that's the MySpace of of AIs. You want to get over to Claude Code, Claude Cowork, learn how to use it. You can make a website in like, I don't know, 5 minutes, like a really good one with it. It can research content. It can now, just as of like today, when I'm making this video, you'll see it in a couple days. Now it can take control of your computer and do your marketing for you. And I'm learning all that stuff. I'm soaking it up. I'm trying to figure out how to leverage AI to put my business on steroids and do all the things for me that I don't want to do because I just like auditioning. I hate cold marketing. If I can get the robots to do that for me, boom, just to make the initial contact, that's great. And that's what it's opening up right now. It's giving us opportunities. It's helping us with the like administrative stuff, taxes, finances, like all that kind of stuff. I even had it crawl through my Voices profile and tell me which jobs I'd be likely to book and which ones to ignore. Like going through my job history of which ones out of the 600 or whatever jobs that I've done, what the common denominator is between all the ones I've booked. Like it's incredible the things it can help you do. They say you're not going to lose your job to AI. You're going to lose your job to someone who knows how to use AI. And I'm coming for you all. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. I'm going to learn how to use it. And I'm going to teach it to everybody in my community. Now, I just talked a whole lot about how I'm not afraid of AI, but let me be brutal with you right here, right now. The voice actors who should be worried are the ones who already sound like an AI. Generic, no personality, reading words off the page like they're reciting a grocery list or just like reading a story to their kid. Like if that's you, yeah, a robot can do your job. And honestly, probably already is. You need to put your personality into reads. You need to, even if you think you have no personality, let your freak flag fly. You got to develop one. You got to have a point of view. Don't just read scripts straight. AI can do that now. Why would they pick you? But if you sound like a real ass person making real ass choices, if you bring something to the script that nobody else can bring, and it's not that hard, you have life experiences. Look at that script. Feel how it lands on you. Talk from your own point of view. If you can do that, you're the one they call after the AI fails. You're the one they pay a premium for. You're the one who's actually building something real. So, what do you do with all this? Here's what's actually working. Get better at acting, not just reading. The gap between a reader and an actor is exactly where AI can't compete. If you sound like you're reading, you're in trouble. If you sound like you're living it, like breathing full life into it, you are going to be just fine. You want to build direct relationships with clients. Don't just live on the platforms. I know I preach that all the time, but make sure that you're talking to them on a regular basis, following up with them once a month, once a quarter. Don't be annoying, but build a real relationship. Don't stalk them. People like to work with people that they like. That's it. Just customer service skills. That's going to take you way further than AI because AI is just like pump and dump. It's just one and done. You want to be their go-to voice. Be the person they call before they even think about AI. And you want to bulletproof your career. You want to diversify your genres. Commercials, corporate, e-learning. I don't know. E-learning is that one's kind of going to AI. Video games, totally. Animation. The more versatile you are, the harder you are to replace. Honestly, take a comedy workshop. Go try open mic stand-up comedy. Just getting that timing down is going to help you huge with voiceover. And for the love of God, stop competing on price. AI will always be cheaper. You will never win a price war with a robot. But you can win a performance war every single goddamn time. So stop trying to be the cheapest option and start being the best option. By the way, I can now say with certainty, after testing for the better part of a year of all the different ways that you can bid on a job on voices.com. I know this isn't a voices.com video, but I'm going to tell you anyway. By far, at least in my experience, and I have tested thousands of auditions, bidding at the top of the budget. Like, let's say the budget is $249 to $499, or $500 to $749, or $750 to $999. Bidding at the top of the budget range, 100% better. Way better than bidding at the bottom. Probably because people value things that value themselves. Is that right? People like expensive shit. And listen, I'm not here to tell you that everything is fine and AI is no big deal. It's a real thing, and it's changing the industry. It's changing the world. It's changing every industry. But it's also creating a lot of opportunities for the voice actors who are paying attention and getting better. Do you want to start learning AI? Check out Nick Sarayev's. Check out Jack Roberts. Check out Nick Herc. Check out AI for non-techies. Just type in AI for non-techies. All great. You need to start learning this shit. If you really want to learn this shit, I am injecting it into VoiceOver School. And if this resonated with you, hit subscribe, hit the like button, drop a comment. I want to know, are you afraid of AI? Are you learning AI? Do you have some serious AI skills? Have you replaced AI? Hit me up in the comments. I read every single one, even the dickhead comments. By the way, if you leave a dickhead comment, I'm not going to comment on it. I'm not going to like it. You're just going to be shouting into the void. So go ahead. But above all, don't quit. Don't panic. Get better. That's it. Learn to act. The robots are terrible at it. And so are most voice actors, by the way. So keep learning. Don't stop. I've been doing this for 8 years. I don't have all the answers, but I am always trying to get better. See you in the next one. Toodles. I need another sign off. Somebody give me a new sign off. I'm done with toodles now. Bye.